Spend your money on a tarp and rip it apart on your first camping trip. Be a novice. What's up guys, Dan here, Coalcracker Bushcraft. Today we're going to talk about poly tarps. They are a very useful tool for the outdoor goer. They're a great way for people who have never tarp camped to get into it because it's not expensive. And listen, these things aren't the worst. They're reasonably priced. They hold up pretty good, but you do have to do some modifications to it. And then you'll realize how awesome tarp camping is. Then you can buy yourself a T60 or an oilcloth or a good silnai. And even if you have all that stuff, listen, there's time and a place for all different gear, so I think understanding some of these modifications is going to be important. Now, all of the modifications literally come around this section right here, and that's the corners with the grommet, okay? If you're going to notice just by looking at that, the grommets in most of these tarps are going to be too small to put a tent peg through, so we're going to have to put some type of tie out on that because this is going to hold our tent peg down. This is also going to connect to our ridge line. That's what's going to hold the tarp in place. Now, with understanding that, understand that a grommet is going to be the weak point on this because we're putting lots and lots of pressure onto this corner right here, okay? So the grommet is literally just placed in there. It's fitted with pressure around a hole that was cut in material. So after pulling and yanking and tearing at this for a while, what you're going to notice, like this one, is it starts to rip the material more than we want it to, and sooner or later that grommet's going to fall out and the whole corner of your tarp's just going to be ripped apart, and then you have a lot more fixing. So we want to get ahead of the curve on that. So one simple temporary fix for this is just, rather than putting paracord on here to make a bigger loop for our tent pegs and our tie outs, is to use some type of elastic bungee, okay? So you can get this shock cord on Amazon, all right, real cheap. You use this, and then what's going to happen when you tie this out is you're still going to get some stretch to it, okay? But you don't want to, when you use this, you don't want to pull it 1,000,000%. I guess 100% is the maximum. You don't want to pull it 100% when you're going to use this. You want to pull it just a little bit, okay? And then if the wind blows or anything, you're going to get some flex there. It's going to create a lot less tension on this section right here. It's not going to hurt the grommet as quickly and your tarp as quickly as something more static like bank line. So this is a great option for it, but there's even a better fix. The better fix is this right here, duct tape. We can actually reinforce these corners and create a nice strong corner that honestly is never going to rip out unless you do something real crazy like hang up all four corners in a tree and then dive through it like a stuntman. Okay, so let me show you how to do this. You're going to take, I like Gorilla Tape. Gorilla Tape is by far the most superior duct tape you'll ever get in your life. I'm telling you, and even for fire starting and everything else we use out here, it's Gorilla Tape. Okay, not a sponsor. All right, so this, I'm going to take, I don't know, that's about 8 inches of tape, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually just cover the entire grommet with that. So I'm going to cover the whole front part like this. Now, if you were in the house, you could do this a lot nicer, but then I'm going to come to the back side, I'm going to flip this over, and I'm going to go right down the back side, just like this. Now, it's a little bit cold out here, so if it was a little bit warmer, it would be a little bit better, I think, but we're getting the job done. I can feel already, so just heat that up a little bit. All right, now what this duct tape does is this creates a lot more surface tension across the entire tarp, and it really eliminates that cut they had to put into the tarp that is going to hold the grommet in place, and that's, again, our weak point. So once you get all of that done, you're gonna find your grommet. Now, it's a little bit offset here, but find your grommet, and I'm looking for my pocket knife. And my pocket knife. You're gonna take your pocket knife, and then all you're gonna do, we're using awl, and you're just gonna punch that hole back out. Okay, or cut it out, whatever you want to do. But what is still going to happen is all this reinforcement from the tape is still holding this thing in place, and you will be good to go to refeed your line back through here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put shock cord on this and make this even more bomb-proof. Just going to wiggle that through like this, and then I'm just going to put an overhand knot in place, okay? So now what I have is I have a lot more surface area covered. So when this thing pulls, yes, it's still pulling on the grommet on the inside, but all that tape is locked in, and using it as all these fibers and connective area to not allow this thing to rip out, and you will be good. Put some shock cord on that and you're really going to be good. So I highly recommend tape, shock cord on any of these poly tarps that you get. They are going to last a lot longer for you. Even the poly tarps with the big heavy plastic reinforced corners, if you still do this, that thing is going to last you. The tarp itself will probably blow out before the corners do, so definitely recommended. So if you like this video, hit like and subscribe. You can also check us out at coalcrackerbushcraft.com for all of our gear, our blog, and our classes. And then you can also check out our full lineup of tarps. We have all different tarps. We make nice oilcloth tarps, and we do make emergency shelters called T60s that are actually the best survival shelter you will ever need in your life. Packable and lightweight and all. This isn't a commercial for that, but they are great, and it would eliminate some of this stuff. So all right, go check all that stuff out, and until the next video, stay in the woods.